Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if it's the first time you're joining me. My name is Hayley and I review fragrances. So in today's video, I thought it would be fun to film the newest fragrances within my collection and share with you my first impressions of these fragrances. Now, I really didn't know what video I wanted to film today. I've got so many ideas for the end of the year, but there is quite a few different fragrances here that I've not spoken about yet. So let's get that out of the way first before I do my end of year wrap up. Now, the majority of these fragrances are loves, but there are a couple, maybe three, that were misses for me, and I will talk you through them. So if that's your kind of thing, then please keep on watching. So first up is a fragrance called Dubai Musk, and this is by Ambra. I think that is the brand's name. I hadn't heard of them before, and there was a sample in a discovery set of different brands that a retailer here in the UK stocks called Indulge. And this was one of the samples within the discovery set. And I fell in love with it straight away. And let me explain why. So I get asked all of the time, Hayley, do you have a fragrance that's a more affordable alternative to Musk Therapy by Initio? Now, if you are a regular viewer of my channel, you will know that I absolutely love Musk Therapy by Initio. It is somewhat of a signature scent for me, but I haven't found anything that's more affordable that hits the spot for me until Dubai Musk. This is incredible. Whilst it doesn't smell exactly the same, it is extremely similar in the dry down. What I will say is the opening of Dubai Musk is a little bit more citrusy, so you definitely get a burst of, I think it's bergamot, maybe lemon, something like that, but you get a more citrusy opening than you do in Musk Therapy. I get more of the kind of blackcurrant blueberry vibe within Musk Therapy, whereas this one I definitely get more of a bergamot citrusy vibe instead. But the dry down is very, very comparable, and yeah, I just think it's such a great, yeah, I love this one. I have been wearing it quite a lot since I've got it. I'm gonna wear it today. And yes, you can overspray this one. It's not too overwhelming. Now this is an extrait. It's a 50 ml bottle, and I believe this is 60 to 65 pounds. I'm not sure about the US conversion here, but I will link some places where you can get this down below. If you like Musk Therapy, or maybe you haven't even tried Musk Therapy, I would definitely recommend trying Dubai Musk if you want a more affordable alternative. This is such an amazing alternative, and I am really, really impressed. I want to try more things from this brand now. Okay, so I haven't spoken about these two fragrances on my YouTube channel yet, I don't think. I did review them over on my TikTok and Instagram. So I have the two new releases from Maison Mataha. I have Evasion Bonbon and I have Brownie Pop. So what do I think about them? Okay, let me get my thoughts together. My favorite, I'll start with my favorite. My favorite is personally Brownie Pop. Now, I think a lot of people will be drawn more to Evasion Bonbon because, I don't know, I think it's got a more of a mass appealing scent profile. But for me, I think Brownie Pop is more wearable. Now, I don't normally gravitate towards chocolate fragrances, but this is so good. It's quite buttery and smooth. It's a milk chocolate and vanilla. It's not too gourmand. It's not too overwhelming. I get about 6 hours wear from it. If I overspray my clothes, it definitely lasts a lot longer, but it has definitely risen to being one of my favorite chocolate fragrances. I think this one is really, really good, and it's not too sickly sweet, which I really do appreciate. Now, I get a little bit of the popcorn, but not too much. It's very buttery milk chocolate. It's got vanilla in here. You've got a dash of that kind of, I'm going to say salted popcorn. People say caramel popcorn. Yeah, I think this is such a good new release. Now, it is still new to my collection. I do need to wear it a little bit more before I give more thoughts. But out of the two, Brownie Pop is my personal favorite. And I think it's such a great new release. And then we have Evasion Bonbon. Now, whilst I do think this is a nice fragrance, it's not necessarily my type of scent profile. I find this extremely sugary sweet. Yes, you are getting strawberry and you get a big burst of strawberry, and it does smell like strawberry candies, strawberries and cream, but it is very, very sweet. It's not for the faint of heart. It is nice though. It smells like strawberries and cream candy. Now, I will say this one settles beautifully. And over on my TikTok and Instagram, people were asking me, how does it compare to the newest Kayali Yum Marshmallow? They're actually quite different. Yum Marshmallow is more milky and creamy, whereas this is more sugary sweet. They actually layer really well together. And I do think this fragrance is nice. I just know I won't wear it anywhere near the amount that I will wear Brownie Pop. But that could change. We shall see. And I do think they are two great new releases. It has taken this brand so long to bring out new fragrances. Oh, I've still got a sore throat. I'm so sorry. My throat is cracking. So I am impressed with both of them. I just lean more towards Brownie Pop, but I think more of you will lean more towards Evasion Bonbon. I know it's sold out super quick on certain retailers. I will link somewhere down below where it's still in stock, but I would definitely recommend getting samples first. They are expensive fragrances, and I think it's always best to try before you buy, but you do you. So let's move on to the next fragrances. Next up is Cinnamon Rolls by Theodoros Kalotinis. Now, I do have samples of the other two fragrances as well. And again, I shared my first impressions over on TikTok. I can get my reviews out just a little bit quicker over there. So if you do want first impressions, I would recommend checking out my TikTok or my Instagram. Anyway, let's move on to Cinnamon Rolls. Now, it does smell like cinnamon rolls, but do I want to smell like cinnamon rolls? I don't know if I do, to be honest. This to me smells a little bit more like a candle that I would like to have at Christmas. That is just my personal preference. However, I did layer this the other day with Bianco Latte by Giardini di Toscana, and I much preferred wearing it like that. Now, this to me smells like a cinnamon roll, yes, but more the American style Cinnabon version, so with the cream cheese. It doesn't smell like the flaky, crusty, traditional cinnamon rolls without the cream cheese. This is creamy, it's got that dry, powdery cinnamon vibe, and it smells like cinnamon rolls, but it's not necessarily something that I want to smell like. I think gourmands, for me, there's been so many this year, and I still like them, don't get me wrong, but I don't find them as wearable for me personally. But it's a good fragrance. It is a good fragrance. It's just not one that I love. I actually prefer Pistachio Latte from this new collection of fragrances, so I will pick that up at some point. But this is, yeah, a dry cinnamon powdery cinnamon roll with cream cheese. Next up is J-Scent Roasted Green Tea. Now, I picked this one up whilst I was in Tokyo, and I don't know why it's taken me so long to talk about this one, but I found this for such a good price because of the exchange rate and all of those things. This cost the equivalent of £25 whilst I was in Tokyo, so I should have picked up more from the brand, but I didn't want to just buy for the sake of it. So what does this smell like? It smells like roasted green tea. Hot green tea. Maybe a teeny bit milky. That might just be me getting that. Is it my favorite green tea fragrance in my collection? No. Wow, that took me some time to get the lid off. But is it a great, realistic green tea fragrance? Yes, it is. Do I recommend it? Yes, I do. But you have to like your dry green tea type of scent profiles to enjoy this. I think it's great, especially for the price point. I need to wear it a little bit more before I can give you my true first impressions, because it's not the kind of scent profile I wear this time of the year. So let me come back to this. But have you tried Roasted Green Tea by J-Scent? Let me know down below your thoughts on it. And are there any favorites of yours from the brand that I need to check out next time? Now, this next fragrance I've also had in my collection for a little while. And when I say a little while, I only mean like 2 months. And this is the first time I think that I'm speaking about it on here. So this is Yasat by Widian. And I absolutely adore this fragrance. It is incredible. Now, a lot of people have said this smells like Gris Chanel by BDK. And it does. It does smell similar. but imagine Gris Chanel with an added caramel note. That is what you're getting with Yasat. And it's a little bit smokier to me, so a little bit more like the Extrait. You get the kind of fig, you get the smoky tea, you get the sandalwood, and then you get that sweetness from the caramel. This is such a phenomenal fragrance, and I think I will actually wear this more than Gris Chanel. We will see, but I just love it. I think this is an incredible, incredible fragrance, and if you like that type of scent profile, I would recommend getting a sample of this one. It is still relatively new to my collection. I haven't had that many opportunities to wear it, so let me come back to you on more impressions, but I think I might prefer it over Gris Chanel. And that's a statement because I love Gris Chanel. So we shall see, but I think this one is incredible. I don't know why I wore this top. It drives me crazy every time I wear it. But the next fragrance is Sandalwood Temple by Jardin. And this is almost in a similar realm to Yasat by Widian. However, this is more of a I don't want to say traditional. This is more of a sandalwood dominant fragrance, and it is creamy. It's also a little bit smoky. And it is one of the best sandalwood fragrances that I have ever personally tried. Now, I have only had this for 1 week in my collection, so I don't want to make that statement quite yet, but this is an incredible, rich, almost slightly spiced sandalwood, very woody, quite dry, yet at the same time creamy. It's really, really good. Now, sandalwood isn't one of my favorite notes. I don't typically reach for straight up sandalwood fragrances, but this would be my preference of how I like sandalwood to be done. It isn't super unique in scent profile, yet at the same time, it's one of the most well executed sandalwoods that I've personally tried. I think it's great. Do I love it? I don't love it, but do I love it for a sandalwood fragrance? I do. I think it's really, really good. I will review this in the future because, like I said, this is new to my collection, but I want to know if you have tried Sandalwood Temple by Jardin, and if so, what do you think about it? Next up is Luce de Rosa by Acqua de Parma. Now, this really takes me back to the types of fragrances that I wore before I started collecting. I was a rose girly. I loved rose fragrances. I still love rose fragrances, and I had all different types. And this is just such an incredible, elegant, elevated, fresh rose scent profile. Yet at the same time, it's spicy. When I first tried this, it was love at first sniff. This smells like rose water, fresh, realistic rose petals. It's a little bit spicy, it's aromatic, it's fresh, yet it's sweet. And I just think this is so feminine, really pretty and timeless. And if you are a rose lover and you like your more fresh, realistic, aromatic rose scent profiles, this is one that I would recommend getting your nose on. It's an absolute classic that you can wear all year round. It's never going to go out of style, and I don't know, it just makes me feel a little bit nostalgic. And this is the first Acqua de Parma fragrance that I have fallen in love with in quite some time. It is really, really pretty. Okay, this one is very, very new to my collection, but I just spotted it beside me and I thought I would mention it in today's video. Again, I'm not really going to try to pronounce this name, but this fragrance, it's so incredibly unique and very addictive, but it's so unusual, but I love it. It's a fresh kind of herbal, minty fragrance, but it's got some iris. It's also got some sweetness. I think this is perfect for this time of the year, to be honest with you. Oh, how do I describe this? It's rich, it's ambery, it's slightly spiced. It almost has a Grand Soir vibe about it, but with a more aromatic touch. So imagine Grand Soir, but add in some mint, maybe some green pine, that kind of vibe. This is such a classy fragrance. It's almost like a green, vanilla-y, ambery fragrance that's got a herbal touch. Now, I have not worn this on the skin. I just want to mention it really quickly here because I think this is such an incredible, unique fragrance. Once I've done a full day wear test, I will come back to you on it. But I saw it out the corner of my eye and I might as well include it in this video because it is new fragrances. Really like it on first impressions, but let's see how it develops when I try it on my skin. So those were all of the fragrances that I wanted to showcase in today's video. Let me know if any of them stood out to you, but I would love to know what are the newest fragrances that you have added to your collection. Let me know down in the comments below. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a pleasure as always. I hope to see you in a future video to come. Thank you so much and goodbye.